Day 4. Ooh, been resting pretty much all morning. Well, went to bed pretty late, probably coming close to 8 o'clock in the morning. Not bad so far, but things are starting to up the ante now because we've got, as well as fludarabine, we've got another drug kicked off today, which is called, tell you now, 1 second. It's more of a cytotoxic chemo drug. You can see it in the back, red bag and all. Busulfan or whatever it is. This is more aggressive, more side effects expected with this. So 2 days of this regime now, fludarabine with this, so the toxicity is increasing. But I've been well rested today. I pretty much slept the whole day, rested in the whole day, in prep basically. So far, so good. It just kicked off. They've given me the fludarabine already. They just kicked this bag off. Fludarabine lasts half an hour. This bag lasts 3 hours. So let's see how it goes. Temperatures have subsided considerably. In fact, pretty much all reason for that was I was on some immunosuppressants, namely anakinra, ruxolitinib, and I was on low-level steroids, or mid-level steroids, should I say, and those were stopped as planned pretty much straight before the chemo. So I think it was an adverse reaction by the body. And the HLH component of my illness, it flared up, and it flared up very aggressively. I mean, my ferritin levels went from about 3,000, 3,500. And then I think there was 4,000 when I got in and I started to feel a bit cold, to 8,000, which is a huge jump, doubled. And then following that up to 11,000, which is a huge jump. So it was aggressive, very aggressive, and hence why I was feeling quite rough. So it was decided initially to start the anakinra. Once I started the anakinra injections, my fever started to sort of subside slightly. Then they've added a roxy back into the equation and increased the steroid dose, and temperature sort of gone. So the plan is to continue those drugs while the chemo's going on, and then shut them off, or reduce certain aspects of them on day 0, which is transplant date. This was always something that we was always going to toy around with and play around with, because there's one thing I was told about Roxy, is by all my doctors who had given it to me, that this drug, if anybody ever says to you, stop taking it, you don't. Because if you suddenly stop taking it without tapering it down, your body will react in a way that your initial disease will feel like child's play. It will come back with a serious aggression, and they've seen it happen in the past with patients. So they've learned that basically you have to taper it down very slowly. So if you're on 15 milligrams, bring it down to 10. 15 twice a day, or bring it down to 15 once a day, then slowly down to 10, then 5, then so on and so forth. So I was on lowest dose, anyway 5, got brought down to 5 once a day. It's fine, no issues. And then when it got completely shut down, but at the same time they shut down a few of the other drugs, so it did cause some adverse reactions. But since they've kicked it back off, as well as giving me like lots of different specs of antibiotics, things are sort of stabilized. So there we are. Feel okay so far. But there's 2 more days of this. So today, tomorrow. Oh, then the chemo stops, and day of rest, as I say. And then either could be a day of 1 day of rest or day 2 of rest. But my plan is, my regime is one day of rest, and then the following day is day 0, where they start transfusing the new cells into me, stem cells into me. And depending on how many bags I have harvested, it could be done over 1 day, or it could be done over 2 days. And that's when the fun begins. So this is the conditioning at the minute that's happening. So burning, the killing, and then the real war, Spartan war, starts after Friday. But let's hope and pray that there isn't much of a war, and everything goes pretty much smooth sailing. There's a couple of things that could happen, possibilities of happening, but we'll discuss that at a later date. But yeah, I mean, I've been able to eat well, so I've been eating, drinking, etc. So that's it in a nutshell. All right, on to the next one.